Alright, so I'm gonna go over basically what I did here. So there were a couple of things, a couple of major things you could say. And let me first grab some of these. I'm gonna just dump it here. That's the effects and presets. This, I don't need that. Close. This, preview, I don't need it. Align, I'm gonna grab it and just kind of chuck it up here or right there. Audio, I don't need that. Okay. Then FX controls, I'm gonna grab it. Just gonna chuck it over here. Alright. So this here, when I click like this is my top down. So that these are the cards. Okay, for example, the coral reef. See, it's top down. All right. Okay, so and this here is just the default view. I deleted the camera. It just wasn't working with this setup. So I ended up animating the cards where I put them in space again. So this is from the top down, right? And this is the card starting from here, like the sea lion. Pressing U. And that's here it is over here. This is here. Bit of a hold. And then moving forward and down. Alright. So it starts from further back, slides forward and up to right here. This opacity, I don't need this. Get rid of that. And then it goes back down and goes forward at the same time. Forward. Towards me. Alright. So that's the main strategy that I did. No camera, deleted the camera, turned the other accessories into 3D cards, as you can see, and those were animated instead of the camera. So then from there, for example, the sea lion, I have two of them, right? This one, which is normal, blend mode. The second one, the duplicate, I had it set to add and a track matte, meaning like some parts will be hidden, and I used the rays number 2, ray number 2, the second one. I renamed it as used as transparency matte. As you can see, we don't see it. Visibility is turned off. If I turn it on, there. All right. So the sea lion, the second one is set to add. I just wanted more of a kick at the top. If I don't like it, I can just either delete it or just put to like 50%. Anyway, so that was that. I color coded the layers. This one here, well, when should I talk about this? I'll talk about this after. No, I should talk about it now. So this one right here, faking far atmospheric shadows. I'm gonna turn it off. I'm gonna turn it on. It was just to give it a sense of further back, going back in space as it gets darker, darker, and darker. Alright, so that's what that was. I had it set to multiply. And if I press T, it's set to 30% opacity. I'm gonna click on this little icon. So there, this is the mask. I'm gonna turn on the solo. This is my solo. There. I shaped it like this because that way I get this arc, right? And it continues with this little arcing horizon line. See right here? So I wanted to continue that. And this part gets darker. And like I said, this is the shape. And what I have here, I have a gradient ramp. If I turn it off, turn it on, and what it did was, I'm going to turn on the eyeball or the solo, and then if I turn the opacity to 100, you can see it. See? So that's my gradient ramp. I had it set to linear versus radial. See? This is radial, this is linear. And then start of the ramp is basically like this right here. See? See? That little weird looking little circle thing. That's how you control it. Or you click here, and you can either put it up there or here, wherever, like that. And this one, end of the ramp, I can click on that and see. Further down I bring it, you can do it like that. Ooh, look at that. And that's all from this little guy that I made. If I put to say 35, there. Anyway, I'm gonna just undo that. Alright, 30%. This here, masking for upper caustic, more kick. Mask for upper caustics for more kick. So basically for this guy right here, right? This is layer 1, right? if I look under my track mats, whatever the hell I use to help hide the things, right here. See number 1, mask. 4, mask for upper caustics, for more kick, more of the lighting kicking through. So that's what this is, ray number 3. If I turn off ray number 3, which I made a duplicate of this one, or was it this one? So it's a duplicate. If I turn it off, see, versus on, off versus on. So that's what that was. Yeah. So this mask, shaped like this, is being pumped to this, right? And this one is set to add, which is where you get the highlights more. Yeah. Anyway, so that's what this guy was too. Next, you'll notice these, right? That's the coral reef. I've color coded them. And what I did was I'm gonna turn off all of them, and I'm gonna show what each one of them does. So start from the bottom one. And this is what it looks like. This one is set to normal, and then I have it track matte to something. Horizon curvature fall off. This is my horizon curvature fall off. And so why did I do this? What is this? You know, is it necessary? You know what I mean? And now I'm going to explain all of that. I'm going to turn this on. Right. I'm going to just do the solo. So this is what it looks like. It has a Gaussian blur. It is pretty big at 600 pixels. If I turn it off, this is what it looks like. If I turn it on, that's what it looks like. Then from there, I'm gonna just turn off the eyeball. Okay. Now, the reason why I made this is this. If I show here this guy, because all of these blue coral reefs are the same one, right? Several of them, the first 3, have its track matte set to the horizon curvature fall off, which the horizon curvature fall off is this. Basically, it's this area, the transition between the floor caustic effect versus the ocean backdrop, right? And what happens is that, how do I explain this? If I set this to no matte, right? So this was horizon. Let me take a screenshot. Alright. So if I grab this, and then I'm gonna no matte. Alright. If I show this, right? What I did was basically this guy. I'm gonna solo it. You can see it. Why is it doing this though? Anyway, what happens was this. In order to make it look like it's sitting on the floor, what I did was I grabbed the sea anemone, however the hell you wanna pronounce it, and I can't pronounce it. So this guy, right? I took a screenshot of the floor, and then I just plopped it on top, and then I applied a layer mask using this, and then I colored out certain areas. So if I disable it, this is what it looks like. If I enable it, and there you have it. Ignore these. And that's what that was. I'm gonna unsolo it. It looks super bright, but I'm gonna explain things. I have a exposure on it because it was just too dark. And then on top of that, right? So here's, I added this little extra mask as well. I'm gonna explain that. Because what I had to do, one second. The second one, right? Okay, so that's the number 22 and okay. Right. Anyway, so I'll try to explain more and more. So I just basically stacked it, right? And this one, the blending mode is normal. Opacity is 100%. I do have it kind of animated, 35%. It gets brighter and brighter and brighter. Mainly because I animated the opacity for the sake that it's gonna get more and more visible as we get closer, right? Or as the coral reef gets closer to us, right? Atmospheric haze, you could say, right? I think the Renaissance artists, the master painters, they talked about atmospheric haze and stuff, so that's what I'm kind of simulating. And that one's at 35% initially and goes higher, higher, higher until 100%, which is what it looks like here. And then when it gets closer and closer, right, it's still only this much. And part of the reason why is because I have it set to the horizon line curvature, which is this. See? Don't mind this though. And then, so from there, I made another blue coral. And this one, right? Same thing, horizon curvature fall off. I have that track matted. And I'll explain why. There's more to it. The second one, if I press T, right, 35%, going up to 50%. So it's only a certain amount. I tried to fake translucency, you could say, you know, because these type of coral reefs, they're not brittle. They're not like made of rocks, right? They're a living organism, and they have a sense of translucency and their own form of um, photogenesis, you could say, where they absorb the sunlight to create energy. This one, right there, see, progressively gets more and more darker and stuff at the bottom, and that leads me into explaining about the masks. So this mask is this color, and what happened was that I wanted to taper off and feather this area instead of making it one solid color. So that's why you have these masks. And this one is this much, right? All of this is faded away. If I show this one, this too also has the same masks, right? But you can see this one is lower, this one is higher, this one is lower, and it was intentional. This, right, is set to add. If I turn it on, so you can see the top. And this one, his track matte is set to the raise number 2, used as transparency. Raise number 2, there's no eyeball showing it. It's used as a transparency matte. Okay. So if I turn it off, turn it on, see how it kind of wraps around down to here and here. And then this part kind of fills in more too. And then this one is set to add. I could change this to, like, say, I don't know, lighter color. See? So it kind of fakes the water, atmosphere, the haze type of a deal. Anyway, so I'm gonna change it back to add. Lastly, I have it set to normal, another one. Turn it on. You can see more of it. It's basically stacking the translucency or transparency, you could say. It's a ghetto ass style of faking things that I would do in 3D with different track mats. And then there are the top 2, I believe they are animated. Yeah, maybe even the top 3. No, just the top 2. What I animated was just their opacity. See, opacity. And I flickered them where opacity is at 35%. This one's at 100%. Now the opacity here is at 25%, 100%. Next one here, 25%. See how it's faded? I want to simulate flickering caused by underwater caustics, light rays hitting it, so it flickers. And then shows faded, and it starts to show more, and faded. Oh, this is 100%. So if I play it, see? And if I show this here, this one was 100, so this one I want to make this 100 as well, because this one is at 100. Now this guy, right? The one at the very top. I could set this to add. See? Look what it did. And you could kind of see through it too. See? Hence, I use a track mat for the raise number 2, right? The raise number 2. See how it shoots down? It's having an influence on the translucency of the um, squiggly stuff. Whatever the hell you call this thing. I don't know what the hell you call that. See? Super neat. Maybe a bit too much. What the hell is this? Oh, I also rotated it. Let me grab these two. This is the rotation, and I rotated it because I need to face it towards me. See how it's angling towards the viewer, right? Because it just looks freaking whack. I don't know how to explain it. It just looked like it's fake ass shit, and I had to rotate it a bit so that it maintains the line of sight or the angle. See? Watch. See how it blends nicely too? See that? Watch. Anyway, so this one, right? Alright, then let me see what else. Oh god, that's 27 minutes. And when I say that I took a screenshot, right, of this is critical. Where, so let me switch this to one view, and then switch this to full 100%, and then so what I did was I hid the coral reefs, and I made sure to find myself a good section, and then I set this to full resolution. There. And then I did Shift Alt S. Shift Windows key S. Right. Shift Windows key S. And I just took a big fat one, right, something like that. And that's how I got my screenshot. I saved it as a PNG, not as a JPEG. Save it as a PNG, not as a JPEG. Just trust me on that. You lose color. And then in the Photoshop, there you go. And same drill, you go back in, layer mask, and you paint like how I taught you guys in the image and video foundations. Hence you can see why I kept on talking about it. See? And you save it, and you bring them into here. As you can see here, I named it as modified. This one is the whale shark. I named it. I'm gonna press M again, and that's pretty much everything. Yeah, I'm gonna turn these back on. And I couldn't find the sky. Right, I looked all over for it. Right, this one. Please, I don't know what happened, right? But when I got your file, I looked into the dependencies folder. Not, it wasn't in there. The other stuff was, but not that. So please be careful about that. Um, see. I also do not recommend using this kelp. And there's the modified one, right? Because these are more illustration style versus these are more realistic, pretty much. Yeah, so I don't recommend those kelp. And I do like the coral reefs though. I think they're cool. Ooh, even this one too, the turtle. It would have been cool to. Ooh, the shark too, huh? To animate the turtle. Even this would have been perfect too, looking from underneath. Maybe I'll do a demo on that. Yeah, okay, I'll do that then. Yeah, why not? I'm gonna press C as in Charlie. I'm gonna crop this tight. Zoom in. Something like that. Again, I had issues with something else I gotta talk about regarding the cropping and the art assets. There. Press V as in Victor. Snap out of it. Good. Alright. I also recommend doing the edge treatment, holding control, and you click in there. You make a selection. You click on the little marquee box. All I want is to gain access to the select and mask. Here I am again. Perhaps first what I'm going to do is switch to new layer mask. Feather it probably at what, 3 or maybe 2. Yeah, 2. Hold control, mouse, click and drag to zoom in. Need to get rid of these dark outlines. Shift edge, or maybe contrast. Nope. Maybe shift edge. Nope. See, I need to get rid of this shit over here. It's so annoying. It's weird if you counterbalance it with contrast. See this annoying problem right here. If you hold contrast, it brings it back, right? The feathering, but also starts to get rid of the black lines. So it's really quirky like that. Before, after, and then I can go back to shift edge and maybe pull it some more. See? So it's hard to explain. It's a weird freaking thing. So again, if I go shift edge to 0, contrast to 0, feather to 0. This is not acceptable. So I feather maybe to like I don't know, 2. But I see this black outlines, which in itself is not acceptable. So that's where, like I said, I can hit the shift edge or the contrast, right? I'm gonna hit the shift edge first, squeeze it in, see? So that's a negative 41, but I still have this leftover stuff, so I can hit the contrast. So it's gonna bring it back, tighten it up more, kind of defeats the purpose in a way, but you still kind of get rid of the black area, gray lines as well. So you kind of lose some of the feathering, but also lose some of the black gray outlines, and you get something kind of in between, you could say a weaker feather, which is still acceptable. This is all right. So that's what I did. Feather at 2. I shifted the edge. Then I pumped up the contrast a bit to get rid of the gray lines left over. Well, still some left over. Then I set this to new layer mask. I don't bother to decontaminate. I'm gonna hit OK. There. So if I turn this off, I turn on the original, turn on the modified. There, you see, huge difference, huge difference. Like this is looks to be acceptable compared to this. See, I'm gonna say this as manta ray modified. Then here, double tap. Modified. Uncheck. I don't need any of that. Import. There it is. Grab it. Check it at the top. Why is it so small? Why is it so freaking oh wait, this is at 200%. This shouldn't be this small. Unless it's smaller, unless it was a collection of animals and it was kind of cut out from the collection. It's not the best. Okay, it's not too bad. See, I kind of want to do something like that. And then have it kind of swim by, you know? I think I'm gonna press Y. Put the anchor pivot point over here. Press V to get out. Then press S. Scale it down to 0. Shift Alt S to set a key. on the scale, S for the scale, and then around here I'll do Shift Alt S again. Then I'm gonna jack up the size, so it's gonna go from, okay, Shift P for position. Then I'm gonna set the scale to something a little bit bigger so I can just see something over here. First, I gotta make sure not to have both of them selected, just one. There, make it just a little bit bigger. Then I'm gonna also Shift R for rotate. Then I'm gonna toggle switches, turn on the cube for a 3D card, turn on the motion blur. That's the other thing too. I turned on the motion blur, all of these. So then two views. This view is in blue, tabs, top down. And there we are. I'm gonna push this back in space. And I want to try to fake it so that it looks like it's coming towards us, right? And flying up at an angle. And then in order to do that, I have to kind of do it the ghetto style. Basically, I'm trying to show how I did it for the whale. I'll set this back to half. See the whale? So the manta ray though. The sea lion, include that, and the whale shark. Turn off that. Yeah, just a manta ray. Get a different color. Maybe like green. Put the pivot there. Press U. See the keyframe. So it's over there. And it's over there, back in space. And press K. Go. Next major keyframe is K. J is previous. K is next. I'm gonna pull it. And I'm gonna pull it this way. Shift S. Set the key. Press J. Go back. And then pull this back. Pull this back. See? So beginning. But I had to make it look like it's kind of makes sense. Right now it doesn't. See, it looks freaking stupid. So I don't know if this will even work. But at least I'm showing just the process, like so. All I did was pull up. See, hopefully you're kind of seeing where I'm going with this. I pulled it up, and here, pull on that, and you see the keyframe. I'm constantly aware of aware of where my major keyframes are. See? There. Then before, way over there, right? It's this over here. That's that. And then I'm gonna just lift it up some more. Right, frame 0. Why is this 24? Why am I starting on frame 24? What the hell? Oh, that's so weird. Why am I starting on frame 24? Okay, that looks cool. Okay. Alright. Before, beginning, and grab the manta ray. Alright, so I can't literally, well, it's way over here. So I'm not gonna mess with it once it's way out there, because it's coming towards me. See, this is coming towards me. So I'm gonna use this instead. My main thing is my line of action. See how it's going this way? Which I don't mind, I like it. But I want it to be facing more okay. Here, since I don't want to keep on trying to grab it from here. What I can do is in the position, X, Y, Z. X is my left to right. Y, the middle column is my up and down. So if you take a look, if I hold Control and I left click onto here, hold Control, I left click and I drag it. See what's happening? See, it lowers. I can let go, then go back in, hold Control, left click and drag, and look what it's doing. I'm gonna pull it back up. Alright. Obviously it's going kind of fast, so grab both of them and just blah 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 blah. So maybe I'll start here and then X, which is my left to right. You can see here and here. So now yanked it way over there. Play it, space bar. Make sure this is live. Maybe now I want it to be going this way more. So at this frame and here, top down, yank. So I yanked it more. Here I'll make it live. I'm gonna pause it. I'm gonna make the play video play stop here, pressing N as in Nancy. Go back. Yeah, it looks weird. So I think I also need to do Shift and T as in Tom for opacity. So I'm going to set the opacity to 0, and then I'm going to click here to set a key. I'm going to go forward like blah 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 blah. Shift and page down 10 frames, and then I'm going to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 frames. Then I'm going to set the opacity to 100. That looks weird, like it's sliding. So maybe I need to lower it down. Something doesn't feel right. Oh, alright, see how it's going? It needs to rotate as well, so Shift R. I'm gonna rotate it right around here, because that's where the opacity is keyframe. So under its orientation, something like that. Alright, so I gave the Z rotation, turn. And then I'm gonna go here, I'm gonna set a key for it, the Z. A little bit better. So here I'm gonna oops, don't do that. Okay, I'm gonna go lift it up more so it looks like it's flying high. Alright, not bad. Kinda don't like it appearing like that over there. Then I'm gonna have it more this way, so it's coming from way back there instead of this here. here, I think I want to give it a rotation. Using the Z, more like that. This is 9.9. I think I want to make this 0.9 as well. Ew, no. Then I'm gonna pull on the X. And then here, maybe I'll pull up. Okay. And then I'm thinking, what if I try to rotate it? Nope. Maybe rotate Y? Nope. Rotate X? Nope. Okay, so a negative 5.1. Okay, so it looks like he's turning, right? So here, maybe this one, rotate Z. Maybe I'll pull it back a couple of frames. Then maybe I'll pull it up the beginning. Basically, you're just like faking depth and movement, you know, by using scale and forward linear movement in actual depth and space. Pull these back. The actual turning radius, so it happens sooner. See. And then maybe the final, that more aggressive turn, maybe I'll pad it up with some more frames. cut some more. See, it's starting to work. Maybe here. Scale. Instead of 65, I'll make it 50. Did it scale? See, it still did. See, that's where you have to be careful. Because I had both of them selected. Only one. Make it 50. Okay, and then here, maybe I'll make it freaking, I don't know, 900. Whoa. Whoa, that's why it's this big actually. Maybe. Okay, even up to 800. Okay, so right around there is when I can start to get blocked. So about what, 750 give or take? See what that does. Alright, not bad. So it looks kind of weird. So maybe it's a negative 28. Positive 3.2 or something. Maybe nope, undo that. XY, lift it up more. There, a little bit more. Right there. Okay. Right, so looking at the tail, this is where it starts to slide or drag instead of moving normal. So I'm gonna rotate there, this way. Then the previous one, I'm gonna delete it. pull it forward. That way I don't see the tail anymore. Ooh, not bad. Still see some of that tail though. Oh, that sucks. Maybe the position and scale, I'll make it faster. So before, after. I don't like that tail though. Okay, up to this point I'm happy. So I'm gonna set a key on the position and scale just as a placeholder, because that's the tail. And then also for the opacity, so the reason why I put these markers here is that you know, it acts as a failsafe, so that the positions are already keyed, even though they're in between flight, you know, in between the actual animation, they're locked in, which is kind of what I want, at least as a backup. And then everything going forward is modifications. Basically, getting rid of that. There's this tail over there. So I can use the opacity. Okay, right there. There's that freaking tail. Right there. Right there. See? I think I need to go to the position. Let me save this. And then for the position, just grab one key, X, Y. Lift it up some more. I mean, it will affect the animation, everything before it. Ooh. Not bad. Maybe I'll grab these and pull it back a bit. The opacity, I don't need the last one, because I have this one. Ooh. Not bad. Yeah. So see. So that was how I pull that off. Then I might not even need these over here. I'll just leave it alone. Yeah, because they're out of sight anyway. Turn the C lines back on. Turn on the whale sharks. Oh yeah, and I also made the um, caustic lighting. I reversed it so that it looks like we're going forward towards the void. See how it's coming towards us? See? So I did it to the top and to the bottom, and all it was is basically, for example, like the floor, press U, and then I just reverse these keys. Same thing for the rays. I went inside of it. Uh, yeah, see right here, right here. These guys, I flipped it. So please be aware of that as well. Yeah, well, it was freaking easy, fast and easy. Anyway, it's quite a while. So give it a try, especially this here. It works like a charm, and you just do have to kind of combine things up a bit, change their blending modes, you know. Yeah. All right. I couldn't make it any shorter. You know, it's a whole freaking process. If I make it shorter, um, you know, it's just basically there's no point to it to make it short because it's just bullshit, you know. So it is what it is.